In Ireland, over 35 million passengers take to the skies every year.
I love flying. It's one of the few jobs where you can escape the Irish weather.
And one airline has been helping us get there since 1936.
You just put up your card in here.
For the very first time, Ireland's national flag carrier is allowing the cameras in for a behind-the-scenes look.
You're clear to take off.
In this programme, we meet the people behind the airline.
No fans, move on, please.
If you don't like people, you're not made for this role.
From lifting the lid on trade secrets...
I don't think nobody has seen the crew rest area.
We want to get to net zero by 2050.
to making sure our boys in green arrive on time.
So the team members are coming through the doors. All we need now is an airplane.
Yeah.
We find out what it really takes to keep an international fleet in the skies.
We are growing again. We need more aircraft.
Join us as we go Inside Aer Lingus. It's 3 a.m. in Dublin Airport, and while most of us are still in our beds, check-in supervisor Lorna is starting her day.
We have a couple of different groups coming in this morning. It is now, 3:15, so we give the world a little bit of time to wake up. Oh, look at you, all organised.
Well, no, not that organised.
So there's plenty of seats on board. If you need to move around, you can move around.
Perfect.
All right. Anything can happen. We can have lost bags, we can have lost passports. We get a lot, actually, of people that use the machines down here to check in. When they check in, they put their passports into the bag. They're in here. I always think when I see older people travelling, I always think of my mum and dad travelling and how I would like them to be treated. Mainly around 4 o'clock, people start coming here. Some people could have missed some flights last night. They stay in the airport. The normal Londons or Manchesters, they kind of give themselves the hour beforehand. But they're the crazies. They're the ones that run in and they're not after giving themselves enough time. They get a fright when they come in and see that there is even a small queue, because they're not expecting it to be a little bit busy even, never mind a big bit busy. Just the Greek islands. Isn't it well for you, huh?
Thank you.
Enjoy. I'm 15 years here in Aer Lingus now, so to me it is normal. To everybody else, it's absolutely nuts getting up in the middle of the night. It's the bags under my eyes tell the story.
Downstairs in baggage, the team are prepping for a busy day ahead.
Everything's set up for Brian, he's all right.
Everything's
You're
set
all
up
right
for
for the
Brian.
afternoon.
Really good morning.
No fallers.
No fallers, all staff present.
Good, good.
No missed bags, which was great. And then going forward for the second part of the day, is all set up.
Fair
Onwards
play
and
to
upwards, absolutely.
And delighted you got out of bed this morning, Alan.
Yeah,
The crack of
thanks very
dawn.
much.
But anyway,
Absolutely right. You can get a break now if you want.
yeah,
Top of tea.
you can get your normal. See you later.
Every week, Aer Lingus handles up to 200,000 bags across their international network. And if you're transiting through Dublin Airport, your bag can travel over 14 kilometres through a state-of-the-art system.
So we're in the basement. So you press 0 on the lift and you arrive in the baggage hall, whether you like it or not. So the space here we're standing in is massive, as we say. It's the same size as the floor plan in Croke Park. Every single flight that lands in Dublin for Aer Lingus comes through here. I'm 28 years doing this gig, and I started loading airplanes on my hands and knees. We would have a cart with a piece of blackboard on it, and we'd be writing the flights on with chalk. The changes have been immense.
These days, things are a little more advanced.
Ran by the DEA, an independent security company, oversees all the screening of the bags in Dublin Airport. Every bag has to be imaged and weighed for security reasons. The system takes them, reads them, and distributes them back to the point where we load them back on an aircraft. So we've pre-planned all this, so the system knows where to send the bag to us.
There are over 120 people working in the baggage department. And one of those is Sophie, who, compared to some of her male colleagues, is relatively new to the job.
There's no bags. I'm on Birmingham. I have a dad and a brother, and I was like, this is going to be fine. This is a whole other level, all the slagging and stuff.
Now, Vinny, you're going to get it right this time. This is a test for Vinny. You're in test.
Going to the lads yesterday to do something for me, and the supervisor was like, she's doing nothing. And I was like, yeah, but I have them rammed. It's like, if you have a tiff, You have a disagreement, or you might have a little argument. Within an hour or two, it's gone. You're in the break room, you're having a laugh with them, you're on the belt, you're driving for them. Great working with the lads. You love the haircut.
Right, okay, you're laughing too much. What's going on?
Pretending like you do something around here. You actually does nothing.
If you have that mix of old and young, you have the mentorship that goes on with that. So we've got guys here with 25 years service, 30 years service, and they embrace the younger guys, and they show them the ropes.
So what we're doing at the moment is the bins go on to these lollies, then the process for delivery starts then, so not too bad. I'm 23, yeah, so I'm probably one of the younger lads here, yes.
Oh, we're a great team.
I carry him majority of the day, so. We actually had to bring the flight out now. The guys in the ramp have about half an hour. They lock up the flight and then push back, take off, landing. Right, Sam. Time is essential, because like it might cause delays, it might have a backlog and everything else. I don't know what the future may hold, but I'll be interested to kind of work for an airline like this, flag carrier of Ireland, like, you know, so. I'm currently in college in DCU studying aviation management with pilot studies, so yeah, that's the plan for the future now, and just finish off my course. That's the end to start up. That's basically time to go, yeah.
Even with all passengers' bags safely on board the aircraft, sometimes things don't go to plan.
We have had people having the likes of heart attacks at gates. They really need their bags back straight out to the aircraft. We'll pull it out of a container. We'll bring it straight to the gate. The passenger needs their medication, stuff like that. The technology that we have at the moment here in Dublin is that once we get the tag number or even the passenger's surname, we can put it into the system and it'll bring up a picture of the bag and where it actually is, whether it's in the bin or on the belt.
Post-pandemic, the system is now a well-oiled machine, but this wasn't always the case.
For a whole weekend here, from a Friday right through to a Sunday, I never went home. We had bags all down the middle of the roads, but it's never happened since. We put a lot of processes in place for things like that that should never happen. And touch wood, will never happen again.
In the 29 years that Paul has been working in baggage, he really has seen it all.
Right, Joe, if you go back in the years, we'd have crazy stories because I've often seen spare tyres, spare wheels, engine parts, tombstones, bales of briquettes, box of Tato crisps. It was just crazy the stuff that people decided to bring home. You won't get stuff through the screening system now. Food was a regular thing. The rashers and the sausages, when people start flying to Spain here first, you know, they brought their breakfast and their lunch with them. Nobody does that anymore. There is restaurants where you can buy a breakfast. There is hotels where you can actually get a breakfast in. Aviation gets in your blood. If you ask anybody with service like I have, we bleed green. You know, aviation gets in your blood.
Aer Lingus have over 50 aircraft in its ever-growing fleet. And managing a fleet of this size can be a pretty tall order.
We're in Hangar 6 in Dublin Airport. So Hangar 6 is the Aer Lingus maintenance facility. Aer Lingus currently have 56 aircraft. That's made up of 15 wide bodies, being the A330s, 8 A321neo LRs, and the remainder are A320 fleet, which is a mix of CEOs and NEOs. The NEOs are special. It's a new engine option. Fuel burn is less, the noise is less, which has great sustainability benefits. We want to get to net zero carbon by 2050.
Yeah, I would say we probably know our fleet by name at this stage. You know, I mean, some of those airplanes have been in Aer Lingus for a number of years now, so definitely by registration, definitely by name. I love aviation, and I think I love aviation since I was probably a kid, since I was 3 or 4 years old, and I was living in Spain, and in my head at that time, I wanted to build an airport in front of my house. So I think that's where everywhere started. And then I went to college. I studied the aerospace engineering. I mean, my whole career has been in aviation. So it's kind of how we're doing it.
If they're running an engine, you'd know all about it. That's just an APU. The APU is the auxiliary power unit. So that's in the tail of the aircraft, and it's used to give power when the engines aren't on and used to power up the engines.
So it's like the starter of your car, basically. So every number of hours, every number of cycles, an airplane needs maintenance. In this case, is an A-check, is the kind of is a regular maintenance that happens.
fleet desk will be assigning aircraft to do flights tomorrow and the next day. And they might have this aircraft assigned to fly to America tomorrow, or in some cases even later today. So when that's the situation, there is a rush getting it out there, because the last thing you want is delaying flights. You have passengers up in the terminal.
That being said, still going through very rigorous checks.
In a couple of months' time, we're very excited. We're expecting delivery of a brand new aircraft from Airbus. There's a lot of technical ground checks happen. There's also a customer acceptance flight where some of the Aer Lingus pilots will fly the aircraft with Airbus pilots. It's like a test drive of a car to make sure that it does everything that it should do. It's great that we're growing again. We need more aircraft. There was a couple of years in the pandemic, my job drastically changed to what it normally is. We were downsizing the fleet. Now it's about growing again. It's about replacing aircraft. It's bringing new aircraft into the fleet. It's really exciting to see the aviation world back up and running.
Unfortunately, if he doesn't have the correct documentation, he will not be able to travel. We're going to give Madrid a phone call. It's not a nice situation to be in.
Aer Lingus operate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And duty manager Stephen McAnulla's job is to keep things moving.
We're in the Aer Lingus OCC, that's the Operations Control Centre. We're in Shamrock House here at Dublin Airport, and we're tasked with managing the Aer Lingus operation 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We've got multiple teams working with us here. We have crew control, fleet control, our network customer care and transfer teams, our network airport control desk. We've our flight planners, our load planners, and we've got our maintenance control department also. My role as ops control duty manager is kind of pulling it all together and managing the operation on the day. There's a semicircle of desks that face me, and that's the heads of each of the teams that we have here. The desks are fanned out from behind there, and they're supported by each of their background teams. So when we're in a disruption situation or I need information, it's readily there. What we do here is safety and security driven. After that, though, it's our customer focus. We know that sometimes there can be delays or disruption, and it's our job here to minimize that. Across all of our flights that are operating today, we're expecting upwards of 30,000 customers. No pressure.
And in the ever-changing world of aviation, even flight paths can change daily.
So I'm a flight planner with Aer Lingus. I plot the way our aircraft fly. So today I'm working on transatlantic flights. So sometimes the quickest route mightn't be the most comfortable for the passengers, because you could be flying along a lot of turbulence associated with a jet stream. From this morning's, let's say, Dublin to JFK, the early flight, the 105, could fly on a different route compared to this afternoon's flight, the 107. We will make the best decision based on the updated weather as it comes in during the day. We're constantly looking at this all the time. For every flight we do, we're looking at it for the departure, the destination, the en route alternates, and then our destination alternates.
Flight planners like Cormac even use a special language to identify bad weather which can cause disruption.
The weather is all given in code. The code is very easy to understand, I suppose, what it is when you're trained to read it. But just glancing at that now, I know when you see all the 9s, that the visibility is really good. It's over 10 kilometres. So that kind of straight away sets your mind at ease. I live in Swords, and my wife would ask if it's going to rain today. So I tend to look at the Dublin Airport forecast, because it's so central for us that we're able to go, I'd say, oh yeah, no, it's safe enough. We're not forecasting rain until later on today.
You know when to put clothes out, do you?
That's it, yeah. Good dry.
And it's not just the aircraft that are important in the Ops Control Centre.
I'm a crew control duty supervisor. Our job is to look after the live roster operations. I was cabin crew myself for 8 years, so I see it from the other side now. You know, if there's an issue and people are getting stuck over in the States, or there's a cancellation out, a European outstation, that's constant interaction with the crew and kind of making sure that they're happy, they have a roof over their heads for the night, and that they're getting home safely then the next day. We've had different situations like weather or an accident even on the M50, say, you could have all crew reporting at the same time and they're all stuck on the M50. We would go in and we would look at addresses and kind of see, does that crew member need to go on the M50? Or we'd have airport standbys, we'd have people in the airports, so we can just deploy them. There's no point calling people in and putting them in the M50 behind everyone else that's stuck there. So, you know, it's kind of, it's common sense though at times, but we try to have common sense.
I'm the Network Customer Journey Manager and I manage the Network Customer Care and Transfer Control teams. So we're responsible for being the voice of the customer here in the Ops Control Centre. Really all they want is to get to the final destination. For us, the focus is to communicate with them to say, look, we know there's an issue, we know that there's bad weather, we're doing our very best to get you on your way.
An unusual thing that happened to us this morning was aircraft departed from Dublin. We were notified pretty quickly that some sort of technical issue was being experienced by the aircraft. Flight deck crew were in contact with the duty maintenance manager. They're in the room here with us. They were able to tell us pretty quickly that if the aircraft continued to Lisbon, there was a really good chance that it was going to be grounded there due to the technical issue. So we took the decision to turn the aircraft around and bring back to Dublin. So it's an inconvenience to our customers because they're delayed. However, we did have a replacement aircraft that we could put people on and get them moving as quickly as possible. There is an element of surprise on the day. Things can happen day to day that is different. A lot of the stuff happens regularly. We know how to react to it, but just when you think you've got it all figured out, there's always something that comes out of left field that challenges the team here.
It can be chaos at times, you know, but it's good pressure. I like being busy. I'm not a fan of sitting twiddling my thumbs and work, so this is the perfect job for it. You know, it's busy, busy, busy.
In the Aer Lingus Training Academy, it's the first day for 13 brand new cabin crew recruits.
So good morning, everybody. You're all very welcome to Aer Lingus. Day one, new exciting adventure begins.
We'll start with you all introducing yourselves.
My name is Charlie Wormley. I'm from Waterford. Before this, I was working in a creche. I'd done early childhood in college. This has always been a dream job.
Some of those skills from the creche will be transferable to an aircraft. Particularly over the summer months, you'll definitely see a similarity. Outside of flying, people will think that it's a course on how we pour tea and coffee and smile and blink and do all of that at once, but there's so much that we have to do.
Aviation is fast-moving, so after a quick introduction, the new recruits leave the classroom for their first phase of safety training.
I think a lot of people, when they start, they think, oh, it's going to be a nice, relaxed day and it's going to be chilled out. But right from the start, we go straight into the safety training. It is a pre-selection course, so nobody is guaranteed till they get to the end of this course to actually fly on board one of our aircraft. They will have exams almost every day over the next 6 weeks. Our minimum pass mark is 85% for any of our written exams or our practical sessions.
They've all put in a huge amount of effort. They've all possibly left jobs that they enjoyed, but this was their dream or their ambition. So we're going to give them every opportunity. We've 13 that started with us this morning, so we're really, really hoping that in the next 4 or 5 weeks, that number stays at 13. We've 13 brand new cabin crew gaining their wings.
In Terminal 2, Captain Kelly Dolan and First Officer Jen Ryan are prepping for takeoff.
Every day is so different. You could think you're prepared and you know what's coming up, but every day there's something new being thrown at you. I like to do early flights, so I'd be up, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm generally in first and I'll print off the paperwork, have that all ready for when the captain comes in. I'm only a year and a half in, but I'm working as if I'm going to be a captain any day, Giving us just over a ton, so if we're taking a bit extra.
So we report about an hour before departure time, and at that stage then we pick up our flight plans and we study the weather and the routing, and we decide how much fuel we have to take for the flights. One pilot will walk around the aircraft, just make sure there's no scratches and that it's all fit for flying. And the other pilot will make their way up to the cockpit and set it up for departure. So setting up our navigation system and getting all the maps out.
On auto armed?
I still love flying, even after doing it more than 20 years. It's fascinating. It's probably, in Ireland, one of the few jobs where you can escape the Irish weather on a regular basis. OK, so clear takeoff.
Every year there's about 8,000 applicants who go for the Future Pilot Programme, and out of that it's only a handful that get selected to go off to FTE in Jerez.
In Spain, Vincent Green has been taking part in the Aer Lingus Future Pilot Programme for the past 7 months. Here, trainees live on campus at a special pilot training facility.
Since I was a child, I've always wanted to fly, and ever since taking flights as a kid, looking into the cockpit is something I've always wanted to do as a career. So I've always had a passion for it. The opportunity with Aer Lingus was something that I was always keen to get on. Obviously, a lot changes from that moment on because, you know, you're immediately thinking you're not just your career, but also your family life will change, at least in the short term. Getting to grips with the volume of work involved can be a little bit daunting at the start, particularly coming from maybe a different background. If you hadn't have done maybe engineering or science, it can be a little bit challenging. It takes around 14 months and involves in lots of ground school and exams, but also the flying element. The end goal is to fly an Airbus aircraft for Aer Lingus. It's not all plain sailing along the way. There's a lot of work involved, but the rewards are there if you put the work in.
And once trainee pilots are finished in Spain, they will have one more phase of simulator training to complete back in Dublin.
When our trainee pilots finish in FTE in Jerez, they'll do 2 weeks of ground school back here in Dublin Airport, and then when that's complete, they'll start their sim training here in SimTech back at base. So trainees arriving here will be very excited because they've already finished a good bit of the training, but they'll also be quite nervous because there's still a lot of training to be done at this stage. Simulators cost about 10 million euros, so they are very expensive pieces of equipment, but they're essential for training a pilot.
When you haven't been in one before, you're not sure what to expect when you get in. Every day you go in, you're going to do a manoeuvre, which you will do in your final exams. There's no time to waste, really. Once you're in there, you want to take every moment and get the most out of it that you can. Take off. You set your power for takeoff for the very first time, and you actually do get that sensation of being pushed back in your chair, and you think, oh Jesus, this is like really real, you know? After you do your sim training, you get to do what's called base training, where you take an empty aircraft out for the day, usually with your sim partner. I went to Shannon and we did a couple of circuits out there where you get to practice takeoffs and landings for the first time. It's an incredible experience. You'll never ever get to do something like that again. It's a big day in every pilot's career. You'll never forget it. You'll never forget the feeling. It's what you've been working towards basically the whole time.
Back at check-in, one passenger's visa is causing problems for Lorna.
This morning we have a gentleman travelling to Madrid. He has a Saudi Arabian passport, so he needs a visa to travel to Madrid. He has got a connection flight onto Saudi Arabia, but they're separate tickets. So we're just going to double check with our system and see, does he require the visa to enter? At the moment, we're a little bit unsure, so we're going to just go through this with a fine-tooth comb and then we'll make a decision. A lot of people with these tickets book through a third party, and they book them as separate tickets rather than true tickets. So it does give us a little bit of heartache, but unfortunately, if he doesn't have the correct documentation, he will not be able to travel. Try ring them, try ring. We're going to give Madrid a phone call, okay? So do you want to take a seat? Thank you so much. You're very welcome. Thank you. Okay, perfect. Okay, thanks, Bethany. Bye. Bye. So the update on the gentleman travelling to Madrid is, for us, it's a no in the system. But he does have an onwards ticket to show that he is leaving Madrid. Madrid have said if we call them back in 5 minutes, they're going to look into it. Hopefully the man can go on the ticket that he's after buying and that he doesn't have to buy 2 more tickets. So fingers crossed.
Unfortunately, the update from Madrid is not positive, and Lorna has to let the passenger know that they won't be able to travel.
Thanks, bye-bye. Unfortunately, we did have to tell him it was a no today for travelling. It's not a nice situation to be in, to tell somebody that's looking forward to going home that, like, sorry, you can't go today. So I know that it's not a nice situation to be in. I certainly wouldn't like to be in that situation. So I do kind of always put myself in their shoes and always kind of look for better options for them and give them that little bit of time. The gentleman was delighted with you know, how we treated him today and looking for flights and giving him other options and making the call to sea. He understood. He was happy enough.
So the team members are coming through the doors. One of our hydraulic rams is not moving back as it should do. That concerns me.
In Dublin Airport, shift leader John McLaughlin is reporting for duty.
35 years with Aer Lingus driving on these roads, on the apron. 4 a.m. is the earliest shift we have. We've nearly a starting time on the hour. I prefer the earlies, but the older you get, the harder they get. Unrecognisable what it was 30 years ago. Maybe 3-4 times as busy as it was. A lot more passengers, up to, I think it could be up to 32 million passengers now. There was 4 or 5 million, I think, when I started. You toned to A330, yeah? Yeah, we knew that, yeah. Why did you go in and out 3 times, Tom? Did you not get it right first time? Days are very few and far between that you wouldn't have a good laugh on the job. The only downturn on it was being a Mead man and Dublin winning everything for the last 10 or 15 years. It's been, you know, that's the only downside of it. They don't give you a minute when the Dubs are playing against Mead and that, you know.
John has to make sure the ramp is clear of any small debris that could get sucked into the aircraft's engine, causing damage.
There's our aircraft.
John then has to guide the aircraft safely into its stand and make sure it stops in the correct position.
That's look. Beginners, look. It's amazing what you can do with your eyes closed. It's supposed to be in the middle of this, but 9 times out of 10, mine is up here. And it doesn't make any difference if it's forward, as long as it's not back here. Because if it's back here, it means the tail of the aircraft would be over the ATC line. So as long as it's, but I'm happy with that margin though, that's the best. I tap the aircraft, the pilot looks out the window, and then I signal to him that the ground power is in and the chocks are on the aircraft. This is the flight EI-168 to London Heathrow. It's out in 34 minutes from now. It's supposed to be departing at 34. So you have to get all the staff off, clean the aircraft, re-cater it and refuel it. That's the refueler there now. It's a quick turnaround in 34 minutes.
Back in Terminal 2, Head of Operations Gary Cooley is expecting the arrival of a large group of passengers that may require some special assistance.
So today is an exciting day. It always is when we see the men's Irish rugby team coming through. We're 4 hours in advance of the team to give you an idea about what goes on in the background. This all starts at the start of the season. The fixtures are made. We then meet with the IRFU. We talk about their requirements, their needs, because there'll be different requirements and different needs for different destinations. So our job here today is to get them there safely, get them there on time, and make sure they have all the equipment to do the job. How's it going, guys?
All good,
Well, team are on the way up. Team run up there shortly. Yeah, the team bags, all that kind of stuff, yeah. And we've all the trolleys ready.
All the trolleys ready.
All we need now is an airplane. But don't tell anybody.
There's about 120 pieces of different equipment that need to go on the flight today. Everything from balls, jerseys, bibs, every piece of equipment that's involved in their training and preparation. There's so much involved in it.
There's a lot of work that goes into it behind the scenes, checking the lads in, bringing the luggage in, boarding passes, passports, just making sure everything is as it should be.
We are ready. We've been preparing for a number of months. So, yeah, fingers crossed. You just never know what's going to happen in this short journey, but so far so good. It's a nice day. There's no fans. Move on, please. We're here now. Next part is getting the airplane in. Anything can happen in the aviation world, so I'd be happy when it's on stand. Is there a problem with the tug, or is it just the... Yeah, it looks like the aircraft has stopped off short of stand. That concerns me. It seems to be a problem with the machine that's pulling it, but won't know until the guys get a closer look. One of our hydraulic rams is not moving back as it should do. So we're now in a position that we can't release the machine off the aircraft. This is a typical day in the airport. Just as you think everything is going to plan, things can happen. But you know what? That's what gets us up in the morning.
And with the players beginning to arrive inside the terminal, the pressure is now well and truly on. Thankfully, it's looking like Gary and his team have managed to fix the problem with the hydraulic lift, without a minute to spare.
Issue resolved. We're now back in operation mode. We're now going to put the bridge up to the aircraft, get the cleaners on, get everybody on board, make sure everything's okay inside, and then we'll come back down again and we'll start loading up the containers with all the equipment in it. Johnny Sexton, he keeps an eye on us. As you can see behind it, the guys are having a coffee there. This is the gauger for me that they're relaxed now at this stage. This is the magic, where the magic happens. You see kids come up, they get their photographs, they take their time, you know, they mingle with other people. It's a real gauge of how things are going. So my gauge, looking behind me here, the guys is, it's going well so far. Every time that plane comes in, you know, everybody gets together, everybody's behind it. It's a real sense of pride. I'm happy out.
In the training academy, the new recruits have reached an important stage of their training.
So our trainees are about halfway through our initial cabin crew training course, and today we're going to be doing fire and smoke training. So we bring them into one of our cabin mock-ups, we fill it with smoke. So we're assessing their teamwork, we're assessing that they're putting their knowledge to the test on how they would deal with a smoke-filled cabin. Remember, the smoke fills the top part of the cabin. As it gets thicker and thicker, only along the bottom of the floor will be left clear, so where that floor pad lighting is. As we're exiting the aircraft, the last overhead locker on the left-hand side, I want you to stand up and put your hands on that firefighting extinguisher. Everybody doing okay? Yeah?
In order to progress to the next stage, each new recruit must prove they are capable of managing any type of emergency situation.
Putting fires out in toilets isn't a normal day-to-day cabin crew role. It will be stressful for them. We want to see that they can remain calm. We want to see them working together, so teamwork is vital. So it's just about them putting the skills and whatever confidence they've built up now to the test.
So we'll have the flight test.
Yeah.
We'll make sure that everything is off, and then we take out circuit breaker.
Lovely.
We've prepared our pilot simulator and tested it.
Lovely.
And we've asked for assistance. Put the correct amount in.
Yeah.
Close it.
Yeah.
Lock it and wait for a minute. Having that team, like, it is so good. They did tell us that on day one. It's so good how all 13 of us are just, you know, getting on really well. Yeah, like boosting each other up. Like, you know, it's really, really good.
Yeah, it was really tough. It was tough, but it was like a really good learning experience, for sure. It's flying by the time, but it's crazy how much we're accomplishing in, like, each week. There's no nightlife. Literally, we're studying all hours of the day.
After 3 years of planning, the Aer Lingus Fleet Assets team have travelled to Toulouse to accept delivery of a brand new aircraft.
We're in the Airbus Delivery Centre in Toulouse Airport, and we're about to take delivery of our brand new A320neo. Generally, you come to Toulouse and you get lovely sunshine, but here today, it's more like being at home.
So what's happening this week is basically what we call the delivery week. It's the end of the process. It's the end where we make sure that the aircraft complies with the contractual and the technical conditions. Airplanes are very expensive assets, as I think we all know. I mean, when you look at the list price, it can be up to 150 million, so they're very expensive assets, and we need to make sure that everyone's happy with it. I mean, we are going to be flying this aircraft for many, many years. We kind of a bit of making sure everyone's happy with the aircraft, and until that happens, we don't proceed with what we call the closing, where it's at the point when we really, you know, the money is transferred, and then the aircraft becomes an Aer Lingus aircraft. So when you get to the end and you're getting really close to the aircraft and you see it painted with the shamrock on the back, surrounded by all these other airplanes, you know, as well, you have that pride of like, it's a work well done, effectively. So I think it's definitely, you know, the last couple of hours can be really, really exciting on that side as well, particularly when the aircraft lands in Dublin as well.
Well, I suppose the real pressure is getting the airplane out of Toulouse and back to Dublin as soon as possible. This aircraft is to enter service with Aer Lingus in a few days' time, so that's the pressure. There's a lot of technical items that need to be ironed out before delivery, and that's what's been looked at now in the last few minutes, last few hours, and then to get all the commercials agreed, get all the final documentation signed, and get out of here on the aircraft. At the end of the day, it's a partnership. They want to get this aircraft delivered to us as much as we want to get it delivered, so everyone's working together.
So I circulated the closing script.
There are many people involved in the aircraft production, in the delivery, so it's a very exciting day for us. Aer Lingus has been an Airbus partner already for many years, and they started taking delivery of this new generation of aircraft already 4 years ago. So it is a relationship that we are always very happy to keep nurturing and keep bringing forward.
I confirm for Aer Lingus.
And I confirm for the lessor.
So right now is the final transfer of ownership to Aer Lingus. Airbus look after us in terms of, we have a very good relationship. Yeah, the guys inside are just finishing up the last bits of paperwork. We're ready to get on board and do our pre-flight checks and bring the aircraft to Dublin.
Is completed, and congratulations. Well done.
Everyone, congratulations.
And with the deal done and dusted, all that's left to do is bring the aircraft home to Dublin.
Finally, let's get out of this rain. Let's just go back to sunny Dublin. It's been a long project and it's been a long day, so it's great to have it all fully done now. Can't wait to board and get back home with the new aircraft. Oh well, that great new plane smell. Oh my God, looks lovely. This is great. That's it, well done, Lander. Fair play.
It's always busy. Some people think it is a bathroom. They're like, where are they going? We are coming down here for a little rest. The previous picture of a flight attendant was always like a classy, glamorous job. People think that it's not anymore, but the glamour is still there. You do have to look good. You have to make sure that you're bringing the best of you out.
Senior cabin crew member Daniel has been working with Aer Lingus for 6 years. Today he is travelling to one of his favourite and somewhat sunnier destinations.
Orlando usually is a holiday destination, so obviously we're as happy as they are because we get off the aircraft and then we enjoy our time there. The galley at the back, it's called Galley FM. So everything that happens within the airline, we all talk between us in the back galley. Sometimes things get distorted, like the actual signal of a radio, and you hear things that might not be real, but yeah, it's our little entertainment for the flight. Hi, good morning, welcome aboard. Most of the days, the job is very easy. You are serving a drink, you are serving a meal. Sometimes it gets very complicated, so you could have a medical emergency, and it could be more than one. Actually, coming back from Boston from a Christmas trip, there was a man, he collapsed on top of my colleague. In that situation, obviously, your training kicks in straight away, and you know exactly what you have to do. We're obviously trained for any eventuality.
While the passengers settle in for a long flight, the real work begins for Daniel and his crew.
We have to prepare 200 meals, so we have over 200 customers. It's always busy, and if I'm standing here to chat with some colleague, I promise you that I'm gonna need something that's right behind them, so you're always moving people around.
And with some flights lasting over 12 hours, cabin crew need their rest too.
We're actually under the economy cabin. We have a little door. So some people think it is a bathroom, and they're like, where are they going? So we are coming down here for a little rest. So we've done the bar service, we've done our meal service, and now we're gonna prepare the before landing snacks. Hungry all the time. I am a hungry passenger, and I'm not even a passenger, you know what I mean? It's a job where you work with people and you're in a metal tube in the air for 8.5 hours. You have to be good with people. If you don't like people, you're not made for this role. There's not a single day like the previous. This is the best perk of the job, to be leaving the weather that we have back home and come to the sunny place here, to Orlando. It's just amazing. I'm exhausted. But I'm very, very proud of what we did today. We had a great service, and I'm ready to get some rest. We get to stay 2 nights in Orlando. We're definitely going to get a drink down by the pool this evening.
Back on the ramp in Dublin Airport, John's aircraft is on a tight turnaround.
So what we're doing now is to make sure that the aircraft is ready for departure. 24 minutes left now. So I'd say it's all going good. We're ahead of ourselves, yeah. That's usually the ground is fairly on the ball. We get things done fairly quick. Just doing pre-departure inspection. Walk around the aircraft, make sure there's no damage done or there's no doors left open, and everything is fine. When the 2 engines start, he'd say 2 good starts. You're clear to disconnect. So I pulled the bypass pin. I had to show him that. Hold it up like that. That he can see that he knows that's been removed. If this is not removed, the wheels of the aircraft won't turn. So you just go in a straight line. He'll end up in swords. You're shouting at me, Brendan. You all right? How are you, Brendan? Yeah, all doors and panels are secure. Steering bypass pin installed. All ground equipment is removed, and we're using a lifting tug. I know a lot of the pilots okay, yeah, good few of them. A lot of them are here the same length of time as me, and you know, when you're doing the headsets and that, they get to know you because they have to trust you and you have to trust them as well. So, ground the cockpit, your lift is completed. Some of them have said to me that the service to get here in Dublin would be better than a lot of the outstations. There would be a mutual respect, yeah, and because we're all working for the one airline.
And once the aircraft is in position, John can give the go-ahead to the pilot to start the engines.
When you know when it goes on time, it's a good feeling, yeah. Good feeling, yeah. I would have liked to fly, maybe, yeah, pilot, but I hadn't the brains or the education, so that's why I'm a loader. But you know what? There's lads with degrees and they're not as happy as I am. Yeah. In 35 years, I don't think there has been one day that I got out of bed and said, I don't fancy going in here today. You know what I mean? If you're a bit down coming in, the lads will always pick you up. I'll miss it. I'll miss the lads. Anyway, yeah, miss the lads that I work with. Good bunch of lads. Yeah, I probably will miss it. Miss the job, but 27 rosters or 63 pay slips to retirement. Officially, but I might stay on. Yeah. If they ask me nicely.
Over the past 6 weeks, the new cabin crew recruits have been put through their paces. And today, successful candidates will be presented with their cabin crew licence at a special graduation ceremony.
This morning's a very busy morning. We're getting ready for the graduation ceremony for our latest group of cabin crew intakes. I think there's a mix of excitement and probably nerves as well. Before they come up here, they'll see their rosters for the first time, so there'll be a lot of bated breath to see whether they've got a long-haul trip or a short-haul trip on that roster. They've been together as a core group for the last 5 weeks, and now after today, they will very much be released from the nest almost and out on their own.
The new recruits have invited friends and family to attend, and this will be the first time they will be seen in their uniforms.
Today is a proud day for you and your families as you join a long line of cabin crew who've gone before you. We wish you the very best in your flying career, and we wish you every success. I present you formally Class 1 of 2024, Dublin Group 1. Welcome to the skies. Congratulations, well done.
We're bonded, we're friends. We helped each other all the way through, and we were all there for each other when we needed it, helping each other. It was great to meet them all.
I'm out on Sunday. Yeah, 2 days away. Yeah. Lovely, really nice, really proud to wear the green. We're home, you know, yeah.
Our first cabin crew graduated back in 1948. We've had wing ceremonies almost every year since, and they're the latest members of the team. In the next few hours, we reset and start again. We've got Dublin Group 2 who will graduate this afternoon. We've got 2 more new training courses starting tomorrow. So it's that constant movement. So the training academy is always on the go. It's always moving. There's always new faces. So the journey starts again tomorrow for a whole new batch of intakes.